I forgot the joke.
You want to tell me a joke?
Yeah, I was about to tell you a joke, but I forgot. It had something to do with tentacles, but I forgot the joke. It has something to do with tentacles and a thing. It's like 10 tickles. I think it's like something to make it laugh.
Oh, how many tickles
Does it take to make an octopus laugh?
That's what it is.
That's what it was. 10 tickles.
10 tickles. Look at that. Backwards induction.
What music is that I hear? Something to try and make you feel at home.
What's going on, guys? This is episode 2 of Unmapped, and on this episode we have Pooh Bear. If you heard the little joke I put behind the actual recording of the podcast, it took us 5 minutes to recuperate from laughing at the tentacles. So I just want to let you guys know that this episode's definitely going to be a change of pace from the last one. The Mizunga was more of an education, just on his life, just really interesting stuff. This is just going to be straight humor and retardation. So on today's episode, we got Pooh Bear.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And I just want to let you know he's holding a giant tiger at the moment. It's great.
Imagine this. You go with me everywhere I go.
Dude, the bear cop at the carnival we went the other day was such a good cop.
Yeah, he was. He was. And the cool thing was that what I found funny about it was, remember when people were asking, how did you get the big bear, which was 40 tickets, if any of you guys went? But then nobody really, like, when I told them, we just worked together, like, we combined all of our tickets to get one bear for the room and to put in the common room, and everybody was, like, shocked that was, like, a thing we should do.
Yeah, they just assumed it's like, I'm just going to get tickets, I'm going to get this for myself, or, like, I'm just going to work towards it on my own.
Yeah.
No one was like, let's work with a bunch of people that we know, and then we'll just share it.
Yeah, because on your own to get 40 tickets was going to be very difficult.
I mean, especially because the carnival games
they're
getting very max.
They're getting 2 tickets, and they were capping how many times you can go back, which is fair because they need everybody to go, and they're expecting 10,000 people.
Right.
So that's fair, but to get 40 tickets for the big ass bear, like you had to put in work in the game. So, but yeah, we put it together, and we got a couple prizes, which was awesome, and we put it for the room. But that's how we think around here. We just do everything again.
I think that bear at Costco is like a solid $30 or something.
At Costco, $30?
Like $20-$30. That's a 53-inch bear.
It's a really big bear.
It's a 53-inch bear.
I just thought if it's that big, based on how much like this tiger costs, I would expect it to be not that good quality. This tiger was way too much. But the bear is a lot bigger.
I mean, that thing it's probably Costco quality.
It's almost my size.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm pretty short, but it's almost my size.
You know what? I just realized that you're like trying to be like Mike Tyson now. Mike Tyson had a tiger.
He did have a tiger.
He did. How dope is that? Yeah. He had enough money and minimum amount of fucks he needed to give. He just got a tiger.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have this.
So many exotic people are like into those exotic animals just to like say you have it. Like that's 100% why. Like Pablo Escobar, you see all the rent. He had a zoo. Like why does Pablo Escobar need a zoo in Colombia? Yeah. But because he can. Exactly. He can. When you have fuck you money.
I think I'm pretty sure he built the whole zoo thing for his kids, right? Or what was it? No, that was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Amusement park. Never mind. That was completely different. But he did do that.
Yeah, he did do that.
But he's another example of just having things like extravagant things that you don't need that are just extremely extra when you have them. Like, he's out here with an amusement park.
There's nobody like Michael Jackson.
There is nobody like Michael Jackson.
Because he transcends just everybody. There's nobody who's like, I don't listen to Michael Jackson. Like a lot of like big like.
It's like a unanimous decision that like this was a good artist. Like this was a man of his time.
Well, who's out there like that? Maybe like I don't even think Drake is out there. Like,
no, I think Drake.
Old people, young people, everybody. White people, Asian people, everybody's on Michael Jackson.
No, old people won't listen.
They won't listen to Drake. But he's the closest because he can go back and forth between like pop hits and then on the rap scene.
Who else has that? They can go like old people and young people consistently agree that they were
in the past.
In the past, yeah.
I think
Bon Jovi.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Maybe Queen.
Who?
Queen.
Oh, Queen. Okay.
Yeah, maybe Queen.
Maybe.
The Beatles.
That's up in the air.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be like
I feel like people treat the Beatles like they treat Jay-Z. Nobody really loves Jay-Z, but they just say Jay-Z because like everybody else does have so much respect for Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles, obviously the Beatles they were just iconic and like they're a new thing at the time. But if you take anything then and try to listen to it now, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's the feeling. You need to be living through the time.
I feel like I'm not Caucasian enough.
Yeah. For the Beatles, because
The
like Jordan,
Beatles.
yeah,
It's not
Jordan,
my-
like Jordan loves the Beatles,
That's just not my. This is
and
not
she's
my
alright.
music.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know. I
me
feel
either.
like my music taste is really random. It kind of goes all over the place.
Yours is very interesting because
Why?
you take influence from a lot of other people.
Yeah,
Like
but
you
there's
like,
no specific taste that I have. It's
Yeah.
kind of all over the place.
which is fine. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I can't show you a song that Iman's gonna like this. You don't have like a type.
I don't have a
a
type.
song.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I think just because I don't listen to enough music.
You don't have your headphones on all the time.
No, I don't.
That's just me.
I mean, it's not even just that. I mean, like, I don't listen to albums all the way through. Like, you told me to do that more often,
Yeah.
which I started doing more because that is how the artist wanted you to listen to his album.
Yep.
And, like, when I did that, like, I did that for Meek Mill's album, or I did that
Yeah.
for Bryson Tiller's album.
Yeah.
And I listened to it all the way through, and I was like, it's way better because the transition from one to the next, like, it keeps going. It's an entire story. And even if it's not a story, it's like you see the trend, the progression in their music and, like, how their tones were going up and down, like, how the beat kind of kept working. Because it's like, it's probably like a big section
Yeah.
of the music that was together, and then like I can make these different things.
Yeah.
You know, like you can see like the possibilities that they had.
100%. And I think like two really good albums that do that is one, Good Kid, Mad City, and then J. Cole's album is literally meant in like a timeline.
Yep.
Because the first song is January 28th, which is his birthday, and then it goes to 03 adolescence, then it goes through like the stages of his life slowly. So that 100%, that's double platinum, no features. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Double platinum, no features. Who has no features nowadays? Nobody. Migos, Travis Scott, they're on everybody's songs.
Dude, it's all about features now.
Yeah.
The more features you have, the more hype your song is.
It's like people like,
dude, that song, just because of the fact that how many like just top notch people were on it, it's just like I'm gonna listen. I need to listen to the song.
Dude,
DJ Khaled knows what he's doing.
He's mad good.
He knows what he's doing.
He's so good at that. He gets like, he's not an artist. He is an artist, but like he's not singing on. He's not.
No, he's yelling DJ Khaled.
Yeah,
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, like that's his value. His value is bringing random people together.
Yeah.
And putting them on a beat. Like who thinks Chance and Lil Wayne and then Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber killed it. That song though.
Justin Bieber.
That song with Summer Vibes probably like 40% because of him.
Yep. You have a catchy chorus. That's why it's on. That's why you have a catchy chorus. You're getting killed by the radio.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Rest in peace.
That kid kills it. He runs like the radio.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Right now, because
Justin Bieber and Drake run the radio.
Yep. Justin Bieber and Drake kill the radio. Drake. So many songs by Drake have been ruined by the radio.
Yeah.
You can't listen to it.
Yeah. Censorship on the radio.
Censorship?
I hate it so much.
It takes away from the song.
It ruins the song.
There's no vibe.
Because I know what you're saying, then I just get mad because I know what it was supposed to be, but it's not that.
All it does is kill the vibe and make the beat off. Like that's all it does. So and the vibe is like the vibes the song gives you is why people love music.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit takes you somewhere else. You start ruining the vibe. It's like, oh, man,
the song's ruined.
I'm just like,
what is this? What's
going on? What is this? I don't even like this anymore. Start questioning everything. How is it?
Yeah, it does. The radio needs to die out, so it's just not. It's not.
Mean, everybody got aux cords now.
Yeah, no one really listened to it. And the commercials, it's like 1 hour commercial free. It's like you're in commercials right now.
Yeah.
You're exactly what that is.
Yep.
Stop it.
And then you switch one radio, they're playing one song, you switch to another radio station, like one of the popular ones, it's the same song at a different time. And then you do the whole waiting option. Okay, which one of these was later in the song?
Yeah.
So I stay on this one until it ends sooner, and I hope it gets on the next one. That's the game you have to play.
Then, there was like multiple times over the summer, it was Ed Sheeran on like 3 different stations, and I was like, man, like this is a good song.
What are you talking about? People that transcend all people?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran and maybe Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, yeah, no, that's a good example.
Yeah, Bruno Mars is.
He is. At what he does, he's outrageous.
Bruno Mars has, he is top level Childish Gambino, Chris Brown talent.
Yeah.
Like, you're just good at everything. And Pharrell.
Yeah, Pharrell.
Pharrell.
Dude, he happy. It's like no matter how many times you heard that song, that's a good vibe song.
Dude, that song is perfectly described. It's just a great song, and it's in a great movie. But the thing about Pharrell is he produces a lot. He produces a lot of people's songs. He's been on records, and he's in fashion.
Yes.
His Human Race Adidas are killing it.
I'm not a biggest fan of those, though.
But a lot of people like it.
I feel like, are you a fan of those?
No, I'm
okay,
a big. I don't rock running shoes. Though.
Okay, that's true. They're so loud.
They're loud.
They're so loud.
You don't gotta get the yellow ones.
No, but I mean, if you're gonna get them, like you might as well.
Yeah, those are dope. And they have words on each one. That shit's dope. I like it when shoes mismatch, like those LeBron 14 graffiti ones.
Yeah.
The 13 lows that I showed you, they were like one of them was white, one of them was black. I was like, I would rock.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the Air Jordan ones that have the blue and black on one and the red. The white and the red on the other one. It's like a mismatch.
Yeah.
But it's like it looks dope.
It does
like,
look dope.
what are you doing?
It's timed like what the fuck this is. It's like if you time it right, it's like I'm like, I don't get it, but I like it. Yeah, it's all about the vibe.
Dude, shoes. That's another thing that I'm like honestly really grateful for that you have brought me up.
Yeah.
Is how much the shoe game affects a look.
It's crazy.
It
It's
changes the appearance. You can dress something up or down, and it just like you change the game like right there off the back.
Because, like, especially for guys, girls is obviously a whole different thing. But with guys, like, you put on a clean white or black shirt, you can go out, depending on what the rest is.
Yep.
Or you could go not out and go to, like, a friend's, like, you're okay, but it's, like, so easy to put on. Then, like, if you wear jeans, you wear a different type of, like, more fancier pants, and then you wear jeans and a polo, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, and then, like,
you can dress it up and down with the shoes.
Yeah.
You wear that with boots, or you wear it with J's, and it's still cool.
Yeah, you still look fly.
Yeah. It changes everything.
I feel like it's lucky for us, but like, okay, I'm gonna get into this a little bit. Let me go to how we're lucky. It's really simple nowadays. Like, fashion has become more like just plain colors, but like simplicity into it, and like have like a color combination that works. You know what I mean? It's like you have one thing that's loud, and that's like it. Like it's good, and it's a good match. But if you look at outfits from back in the day, it's like they probably thought they were dressing cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the times. Like, people used to do, like, they used to, like, and now, like, I don't know, maybe it was, like, this was the Jalen Rose Fab Five in the basketball. That was a huge thing in, like, early 2000s that made people go from, like, shorter shorts to, like, baggier shorts.
Right.
And that became, like, a thing. Wearing baggy clothes was, like, dope.
Yeah, there's a picture of, the NBA, like a bunch of basketball players wearing suits back in the day. Yeah. Suits were all baggy, like, they were horrible. And you look at them now, they're all, like, fitted. Tight, clean. Like just like I think it looks perfect now. It's like clean. A fitted look. It's clean. It's clean. So there's no excess.
But I think baggy was a lot more of an urban symbol. Like, wearing baggy stuff was a lot more like cities. Inner cities were more like that. And like certain demographics were like that compared to like now really the fit is more important. Like what you're wearing is supposed to be. Yeah. Also supposed to reflect your personality.
Yeah, everyone has a different look.
Which is awesome. Which is why fashion is so cool. Because literally anybody can rock. There's something to rock for everybody. You just gotta find it.
You gotta find it. It takes effort to find it, though. Yeah, a lot of people think it's more effort than it is, but it's just like a little bit of trial and error. Yeah. And then like you feel around, it's like, yeah, you're gonna waste a little bit of money, but then you figure it out, and you're like, oh, like I got this. This is me. This is me. Like this is my look. And when you're comfortable in what you're wearing, it's like you get strength. That's why I always talk about shit. I told you this before. Like, I think James agrees. Like, if I'm in like Jordans or I'm in like just like something dope, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Like, you feel like invincible, and that's what a lot of people get from a lot of different things. Right. But like, shoes are a thing. That's why like I used to be like, oh, shoes. Like, I didn't like shoes, but like I'm not into shoes. Yeah. And then now I'm like shoes are really shoes are a big part of my life. You know? So that's why I didn't really realize. I'm just looking at my shoes now.
Your collection getting up there though.
It is, but the Ultra Boost.
Yeah, but that's changed. Yeah. That never changed.
I personally like, for me, like the best example is that I always wear running shoes. Yeah, but that's like, you. That's like sleek. That's like I'm kind of tall, I'm kind of skinny. Yeah, it's just like that's my thing. Yup. But you can rock like Jay. You always rock with Jays.
Yeah, it's just everybody's just different. Like running shoes with like joggers, like the jogger movement completely changed the running game.
That's another thing. Joggers, the cuffed look. Like, that's a big. The cuffed are like the roll up. Yeah. Like, I remember when someone first told me like roll up my jeans, I'm like, why? Yeah, why? I used to always get like boot cut jeans or like the ones that are like goes around my shoe. Yeah. So it doesn't do that.
Okay, here I have a question about that. That's kind of like a chicken and egg thing, because did shoes becoming more popular make that more popular because you want to show off your shoes more?
I think that's what it is.
Or is it shoes became more popular because I'm wearing these and my shoes get showed off more? You know what I'm saying? Did joggers make running shoes poppin', or was it the other way around?
Joggers make shoes. I don't know.
Because joggers has been like a recent move, like 4 or 5 years movement, right?
But running shoes have also been recent. I don't know how.
Like Roshi ones started it, and then still Adidas took it over.
Yeah, I had Roshis.
Yeah, everybody had Roshis.
Everyone had Roshis.
Everybody had Roshis.
It's like Roshis was like the Wii of shoes.
Yeah.
Everyone had a Wii, man.
Yeah, everybody.
I still have my Wii at home. I don't even use that thing. No one uses that thing anymore.
Yeah, and everybody realized like this isn't as great as we thought it would.
No. At the time it was fun.
Dude, they were fashionable. You can't run in them one. You can't. The Roshis.
Oh yeah.
And they lose grip immediately. At least for me, that's just me. But like my shoes have no grip on them. But then Yeezys became that. And then most people can't afford Yeezys, so Adidas just made Ultra Boosts.
That's like a middle
ground. And NMDs, and then those are fashionable as fuck, bro.
Yeah, they look really
NMDs are clean. They're clean. NMDs are so clean.
But I was actually talking about how the...
Oh. I'm in the beginning.
In the beginning, that's what I'm saying.
In the beginning, I agree. Because you're like, Wii Sports, oh, this is dope. And then you're like, oh, Wii Sports? Yeah. This is alright. That's how it goes, though. Once I realized, like,
No, Wii Sports was so fun though.
It
was so. You should play like me and my cousin would do boxing or
Yeah.
baseball, and like we
Yeah.
get into it.
Yeah.
We get into it. Like I would like. I remember the beginning. I was like, "Put your straps on. Put your strap on." You're saying like we ain't half-assed in this game. This is a real game. It's about to go down.
Nunchucks will be fine. Yeah. No, but honestly, once I got Call of Duty 5, I realized playing with the Wii Zapper was not what I thought it was.
The Wii Zapper.
And I was like, yo, we're getting an Xbox. That's what we're doing. We're getting an Xbox so I can play Call of Duty.
Why did you pick Xbox over? Do you have more people that play
Halo.
Xbox?
Halo.
Really?
Because for me, the biggest thing, my neighbor, when I was little, we played the original Xbox. And that's when Halo 2 just came out. And for me, Halo 2, and based on the people I know, Halo 2 revolutionized the game. Halo 2's multiplayer online was terrific, and the campaign was awesome. So, like, for me, that was the game that got me into Xbox. And then from there, I was like that. And then also, yeah, then I wanted an Xbox for that. And then once I got that, I never really played on the PS3. I didn't know too many people with it. So, like, it's a little different.
Dude,
so I was
in middle school, for us at least, in middle school, having what console you has directly affects what you have.
Yes, because who you're playing with.
Affects what
you can't play through PS4.
All of middle school, everyone that I talked to was like, we'd play COD together.
Exactly.
We were such losers. We'd go home, we'd play COD, and then the next day at lunch, we'd just talk about things that happened during COD. We'd just be there talking about what happened. Like, yo, dude, do you remember that time you fucking did the 360 and
the sole creator for that story is so probably that's across America, and that's only because of fucking Modern Warfare 2.
Dude, that game.
Modern Warfare 2 changed everything.
It changed gaming.
Not enough. Like the entire male population through middle school played Modern Warfare 2 more than any other game they played.
Without definitely.
Like it's ridiculous how many people know about what Commando is. Like you see what Commando is, how dumb it was.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Everybody knows.
It was stupid.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, I remember I used to go to the night that it would come out, like release night, and like I'd wait in line, and I remember how many people were like just like cult. Like for Call of Duty, it was like I'm fucking here, like I'm getting this. Like you know how they had like the boxes, they had like the Prestige Edition stuff, like they stuff that's like stuff will come with it. I think for Black Ops they gave you like an RCXD.
Oh shit!
I think Black Ops 2 was a drone. It was like a small drone. But like nonetheless, it was a drone. Like, I think it was a quad rotor. Which was like very new at the time, which was mad cool. They gave you it in like a big luggage. But I remember how many people would get that. Like everyone wanted it.
Yeah.
I think it was costly.
Yeah.
Forget how expensive
games were. Really
like 60,
and controllers.
$60. Controllers, I feel like got more expensive.
They did.
I don't know
100% did. I don't know why.
Because I remember controllers would be like $30, $40. I think it's just the technology.
They're 50 now, which are much as
50 to 60.
Games.
Yeah.
As much as the games are. It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
It
makes life different.
It makes everything. I just want to play this game. That's why you gotta always get wired. I don't know why people don't want to get wired. Cause I'll take.
It makes it a little bit more.
How? Because you can't go all the way back.
Yeah, you can't go all the way to your bed.
But still.
You can't go all the way. You got an extra wire.
You need to change the setup.
Wire management. I had to do wire management. It's not. Yeah, I just did it there. I think adding any amount of wires. Everything's getting Bluetooth now.
Yep.
Everything's all
wireless. My mom just caught wireless Bluetooth approach. I'm gonna get like, all right. I sent him the ones you told me to get. Because if you guys don't know, anytime I buy anything, Imran just tells me what to get, and then I get it.
For tech?
Yeah, for tech.
Yeah, because I usually just ask Kishan to tell me what to get, and Kishan tells me what, because he actually uses tech.
And I don't know anything about
I look it up only because he'll usually mention it, and then I'm like, fuck, he knows more than me about this. I have to figure this out a little.
Yeah, but I don't even question what you say.
you just take it. You're like, all right. You're right. You're probably right.
I'm gonna worry the whole time, like, oh, this or this, and I just go, oh, Imran.
Honestly, it's not being a surface level person in technology, like just kind of like the basic knowledge is a lot more than a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
And it's not that difficult to go surface level. Like I built this PC and like I'm not competent. Period. Like I'm not a competent person. It wasn't really that difficult. If you can follow instructions, like basic instructions, like you can read and try to understand like the basic
how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same thing when it comes to like any other form of technology. It's like if you just read up on it a little bit, it just becomes like a second nature. It's not like difficult things that you need to know.
I think it's more of like one of those things where it's like the idea of how hard I think it is too hard for me to want to try.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because like I'm like
because there's all these letters and numbers, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't want to like mess it up or nothing. I don't know anything about computers.
I mean, literally, all you have to do is just kind of Google the specification, like how capable or powerful whatever parts are, and then there are websites that will do basically everything. Like I did like PC part, just put everything that like I wanted, and I'll have like the prices and everything, and it would tell me if it was compatible. Even though I did actually get a CPU cooler that wasn't compatible, but that was on me.
That's awesome to have that. That's huge. Yeah. Because as building PCs become more and more popular.
Yeah.
then that's huge. For
I think honestly, more people should. I don't know why. Like, there's so many people
over
who
a
die.
laptop. Portability. What else is there other than portability? Like how easy it is to make.
It depends on the person. That's the because like for me, it's like I don't need power on the. If I'm on the go, like I only my Chromebook because like I'm just checking out homework and stuff. But there are a lot of people who want to have.
You want to know what I'm laughing right now? I'm thinking about the tentacles joke.
Dude, that's a good intro.
Yo, that was so funny. We literally sat there for like 2 minutes, like what is the joke? I knew it. I knew it. And then you said it, I was like, that was it. That was really good. What you said was right. But, yeah,
I get most of my jokes.
Reddit?
Reddit is the front page of the internet.
That's my problem. You will always be telling me to get on Reddit, but
I'm not even on Reddit enough. There are people who Reddit more.
And so you're trying to imply that being on Reddit is definitely a good thing you should be doing. Not just
yes,
like, oh, if you want
I think without a doubt, like if you're trying to just be up to date with about everything generally, like you're not gonna be like 100% about everything or you're like in-depth knowledge, but like you'll know approximate knowledge of.
Yeah,
that's basically what Reddit is.
And if it's not like biased, then that's what people. Because everybody gets their news from the internet. Everybody gets their news, and if it's like bad,
like Reddit right now, I'm pretty sure they have a live of just people that are talking about Hurricane Irma. Like,
that's awesome.
Like that.
They have threads.
That's the subreddits and threads, and it's really big emphasis on community, which is really, really.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's a live thread with 42,000 people on Reddit. Yeah, and it's just people putting in news, like updates on like what's going on, like where it's moving to, how strong it still is, and it's like all of these people are just trying to get information up.
That's
it's
important.
like it's just because there's so many people on it, it's so good. Like you know what I mean? Like there's consistency in numbers. Yeah. So like the things that should go to the top end up at the top. And shouldn't.
That's amazing. I need to get on that because that's our huge. If it's non-biased and anything you want, literally anything. Yeah. And like if Hurricane Irma, if that's where you go for news and it's accurate, it can tell a lot of people who are in Syria, like that are in the area or have family in the area. It can help you. Like you say, oh, what is it like?
They're probably also like I don't go deep, but they're probably starting forming a.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, but if you use it for just news,
that's I mean,
or information and memes.
Memes is the number. Dude, Facebook is like 2 days. This is what I really told you to get. Yeah. The news wasn't the important reason that I told you to get ready. It's because you sent a meme on Facebook to our group chat, and it was a meme that was 2 days old. He sent me a 2-day-old meme, guys.
It was the Jon Snow meme.
Yeah, and I was like, they made this meme like 2 hours after the show, and it was up on Reddit almost immediately. Got uploaded to the top, and it was like the first thing I saw when I went on Reddit.
You're making me a little better. I should, because honestly, I'm the only one that uses Facebook, and I don't give a fuck. Like I like Facebook. Facebook is, I understand it. The Messenger is awesome.
I mean, it's made for.
Like, well, that's good because I don't know anything. So I like the Messenger. And on Facebook, like, I like making statuses. I'm a huge advocate of making statuses about some random thing I'm thinking.
Honestly, it's surprising that not that many people. There are some people, but I just find it like I can't do that really. Like just put random posts. I feel like that's more of a thing for Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter.
I made a Twitter and then I didn't use it. I was like I should probably make a Twitter. It's like I'm trying to like reach out to people. Yeah. I made the Twitter.
I think anything with hashtags, we can get like hashtags. You can get into groups.
You can't get into.
You can filter. You can filter stuff.
The thing is, like, the thing I don't like about hashtags now, it's like hashtagging is
the act of hashtag.
The hashtag action. Yeah. It's kind of like it feels like businessy in a way because like. People will hashtag things in a very specific way. Like if you're on Instagram, like have very specific hashtags to put them on a certain page or like kind of like affiliate themselves with something.
With the search result.
Yeah. Like what I like doing is like just putting random hashtags. Which doesn't really help my cause if I'm trying to reach.
But if you search a hashtag, you're gonna be one of.
That's true.
You're more likely to be come up. That was first started on YouTube with tags. That was on YouTube.
See, I don't know how to use YouTube tags too.
Because that's huge with YouTube tags. If you search in the search bar, everybody's like using the search bar for YouTube. You type in anything with those related, you're gonna find it.
See, I gotta learn how to use tags properly.
Yeah, for
my most common hashtag is like hashtag. I usually put hashtag. And then I'll follow it by hashtag 7. And that'll be it. Like I'll have a bunch of other random stuff that makes sense. And like some of the hashtags I use are actually like. Most popular ones, they're like an article on like the most popular and top hashtags, and I found the ones that are relevant to what I do. And I just have one that's like I have like a Google Keep with the hashtag block on like specific. You know how much I type it out every time.
You are organized. That's what you.
I think if you're organized, you're allowed to be a little bit dumber.
I think it's a huge skill. It has I've directly seen it benefit significantly.
No, it makes a big like even if you're not the smartest person or like it takes if it's like Peter and James are two guys who gave me who like I really like looked at what they did and I like took that as an example. It's like even though they knew they were kind of slower at picking something up or like it would take them they know it would take them an extended amount of time. They just allot that extended amount of time. Which you know that makes sense. Like that's what you should do. And for me, I was always like, if I didn't get it, like I was just dumb. I was like, I'm just like, it's just not happening. I
feel like the change becomes because you're right. Both those guys, like they are so like it's like there's like a party like 3, 4, 5 days ahead of a test. Most people aren't studying before like maybe 3 days. Right? They're like, oh no, I can't. I gotta study. And he's like, I was like, when's your test? He's like, oh, next week. I was like, damn, like he does it.
They're ahead of time.
And he always says like it's because like I don't get it unless I just put in like a ridiculous amount of hours. And that goes back to something we talk about a lot of this stuff all the time. Like it doesn't matter how you get it. The point is that you need the result.
As long as you get it.
You get an A. Nobody gives a fuck if you're one of those kids that just like gets an A without studying.
It's not like high school. In high school, it was like you're.
Are you that guy that doesn't study?
You guy that does stuff. It's like in college, it's like, dude, you're not failing, man. Help me.
Yeah. Like,
it's not like that anymore. It's like I'm paying for this. I need to do well.
It's real shit. Like
it matters.
Your GPA, regardless of whether it's right for making what the emphasis is, your GPA is especially from going to applying to colleges from high school.
Yeah.
Like that shit weeds you out no matter how smart you are. You could have done a lot of extracurriculars if your GPA was lower than like ridiculously high, especially for high school.
Yeah.
Because so many kids in high school get good GPAs.
Yeah.
You're screwed. And here
honestly,
it's true.
My high school GPA, I'm surprised that because like for my high school, like I didn't really realize how much it mattered. But my overall average was an 87, which isn't bad, but it's not good. Like I didn't realize how that was not nearly as good as it could have been compared to like other students.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason I got by was because they kind of weighted us more.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like you take P's and you take some college classes, so like benefit of the doubt, and then SAT.
Yeah. That's all ripped.
But yeah, it is like from our school, most kids go to colleges, and a lot of I guess like 5% given.
That's a lot.
That's really good. Yeah. Oh right. If my average was higher, like I would have gotten scholarships,
which is
like,
huge for a lot of people.
It's a huge impact.
No one wants to be.
Yeah.
No. And anything you gotta do to get money back, like that's why a lot of people become RAs. A lot of people do that for tuition pay, for housing paid, because like you gotta do whatever it takes to get there. Yeah. If that's your situation.
Honestly, if I did not live where I lived, like in terms of our suite, I probably would have been an RA. Yeah. Because I remember freshman year, I think I talked to you. I talked to you about this. I was like the RA to be an RA, you only have to do like a couple. You have to go to a couple events and then do an interview and then show that like you're just capable of doing it and you can hold your grades and everything. Yeah. And then that's it. Like you get an RA. Like we know a lot of people that are RA, and it's like not. And for those of you who don't know, RA is resident. Take care of like the students and like the dorm life here, and just make sure like
they make sure that everything's safe. They take care of any complaints in the residents, and each RA has a different floor, so they kind of get to know the residents pretty well.
And they take care of like the stuff on the floor, so like, put the names down, like organize who's in what room. If there are any disputes or anything like that, they'll take care of it. But they get their tuition, I think, waived.
Room and board.
Room and board. They get all of the room and board paid, yeah.
Which in Long Island is a lot more important than for a lot of our tuition. Yeah. Because in Long Island, our room and board is ridiculous compared to how, if you're in-state tuition, my in-state tuition for most of us is lower than the room and board.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, room and board is expensive.
It's like 15, 12, 13, 15, something like that.
It's, I think, somewhere around 5,000.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. With no
I mean,
money.
Private institute.
But I don't know about room and board. Tuition there.
Tuition
is like 40, 50 grand.
Yeah.
But like our tuition in-state is pretty decent. That's why Stony Brook is a great school. Yeah. For people who want to get a really good education in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, for like 24,000, like you're making, like you're going to a very good, really good education, and you have resources that a lot of schools.
100%.
But like 24,000 with room and board, that is
Yep. A lot of kids, especially with this new, we talk about this too.
The Excelsior scholarship.
Yeah.
That's gonna change the lives of like so many
kids. Are gonna become something.
Kids in New York.
Kids are gonna become so much more than what they could have been.
Yeah.
Without a
doubt.
It's amazing.
I know a lot of people probably would have gone like more, like they would have branched outwards to like more schools, like gone dormant and stuff. Like Sean's like a good. Yeah. He wouldn't have gone to City College. It was able to because he wanted to go to Stony Brook just like I did. Yeah. But to him, I think it was like another 2,000 to 3,000 more a semester, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. That's a big difference. So I mean, if he got the Excelsior, everything would have been covered for tuition. Just been what I was at. Yeah. He would have been here. So like that could like would have changed like the
Huge.
entire route of what.
Exactly. College is a huge experience. It's not even about it is about the school, but it's also not about
It's not, yeah.
like what happens to you, me, how you change.
So yeah, so going back to me being an RA, like if
Yeah.
it wasn't this, like I looked at our suite and like people we lived with,
Yeah.
and I was like, I won't get this if I become an RA, and I was
Give
like,
it
I'm
up
gonna
something.
take the outlay and take the loans and pay that money off later on. I feel like that was an investment that was definitely.
I mean,
I mean, for me,
yeah,
on
it's
my,
not for me to say,
yeah,
but it's dope that it happened like that.
yeah,
But yeah, our room is special.
it's different.
Yeah, our room is special.
But I think that having so many people from such a wide array, like it's bound to happen where you get groups.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just our group. Like I mean,
No,
there's
it's not,
many
no.
groups out there that are really gonna have a lot of people.
But I think it's also like the fact. I mean, I'm not fuck it. But like we are all different, but we are very okay with other people being different.
Mhm.
Like it's not like like people don't talk shit. Like there's a difference between talking shit because somebody's weird, like you're just being an asshole.
Mhm.
Like I think whatever you're doing is weird. Like the way you dress, the way you act, whatever is weird.
Mhm.
But like that's not anything about how you are as a person. Versus I'm talking shit because this guy was being an asshole, right?
Right.
We don't talk shit about people for being for being them.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I think given the fact that we are close to New York and we're
Yeah.
like closer to like a larger majority of like liberal people, I think we're on a campus where you'll find more people that are more okay.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
general doing things.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like
City kids.
So like city is one thing, and like all of that, and then on top of that, like college is already a place where people like aren't really as like they're not really at a place where they can be that judgmental.
Yeah.
Because they haven't found themselves. Like I
Mhm.
mean, like everyone's fucking.
And everybody's worried.
Yeah.
When you find people that when you got so much going on with your life and you got to worry about additionally like how every move you make like I got all this school, all this job applications, everything. Now I got to worry about what I say around people. Like it just makes everything so much worse. You're around people that like you can just be yourself around, and they're like okay with like everybody's just like accepts you for where you are. Like you know like you don't gotta be really close to everybody, but nobody's trying to change.
Yeah.
This is what it is. We're gonna either get along or not, and that's liberating for a lot of people.
Yeah, but I mean, it's in today's age for our like people that are coming up, like it's a hostile social.
Yeah.
It's so like it's like one of the big reasons I didn't want to start a podcast and a channel was like I was scared that by mistake I'd say something that would catch someone off guard and like piss them off for no reason. It's like even if I didn't mean it out of like foul intent or like bad intent, like it might come off as like something I shouldn't have said, and like I just said it in the moment, so I wasn't paying attention to it, but I might not have meant it, but because of the fact that it's already on the internet, I can get judged.
Yeah. So you're saying like you're trying to say that right now people are very like soft about stuff.
They're flaccid. It's not like they're like
people like stuff.
I think people are more like on the edge of their seat waiting for someone to say something. And I don't know why that exists nowadays, but like people are just like they're just waiting. They're like
I want you to say something.
Like, say something. Say it. Come on, I know you won't. I know you.
Just so they can make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think people let words like not even like words like directed at them. Just like they'll take something somebody says and like have a problem with it. Yeah, maybe not be like the nicest thing, but like everybody's gonna always be talking about you. Like I don't understand why you gotta make it like people get like really upset about it. Chill with your friends, fuck everybody else. Like why you gotta make it like a really like big deal? Some of it's worth it. Some of the things people say are just not like I feel that way about the current president.
Yeah.
But
are we getting politics? Is that what we're doing?
Nah, I don't know.
We're not doing that
not today. Not today. But yeah, like I think people try to scrutinize way too much.
Yeah, and it makes it difficult to
you walking on eggshells. Like I don't know if I say it like this.
Yeah.
Something good or bad is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
With everybody checking your profiles, like
you're everywhere.
Yeah,
everyone is everywhere.
You could not get a job over that stuff.
Yeah, say something.
It's scary. But yeah, I think that's where the social movement is going.
All right, this is too dark. We're gonna switch over to lifting.
Okay.
Talk about lifting.
Let's go.
This is prime time. This is what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I mentioned in my first video that I was a personal trainer. I might not have, but I am. That's me. And so Pooh Bear, he actually lost weight from 195-ish, and he's around like 150, 55 now, like coasting around 155. And like half the time we talk about lifting, we talk about how the average person thinks it's so much more difficult than it is. And like working as a trainer, like everyone that I've worked with, like they just need general fitness. Like they're like 35% of Americans are obese, and yes, that's a random stat that I'm throwing out, and I think it's 35%. but most people just need like a regular exercise routine, but no one does.
This is a good example of the PC. Why I don't want to build a PC because I'm scared. I just look at it and I'm scared because I see it built.
Look at that.
Look at this. Look at this.
Look at the connections.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
This is what we do. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I look at this PC, it's built. I'm like, I don't know how to fucking do this.
Alright, that should motivate you then. That's a good analogy.
That's how.
That's a good analogy right
but
there.
It depends how people are.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
you, Kobe, like knowing somebody else is better than you, you will not stop until I'm better than you.
That's true.
That's what makes people different. But yeah, like I think a lot of people make it harder. There's a lot of things I could talk about what
that's what we're here to do.
what I've learned about what I've learned from working out, or not even just working out, just like overall health. Both working out and diet. But I think people need to take pride in small wins. This is something I struggle with. I'm always bitching about this. No, I am. I am always bitching about this. But like when not everything is gonna go perfect. You fuck up. That's the way it goes. That's what anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with this, you have to understand. This is something you guys always tell me when I start.
Long term.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
Term.
It's not a sprint.
It's not a sprint.
So you got to make lifestyle changes, and then that over time will completely change your life.
People think it's one or the, like I was saying this.
Yep.
I think it was yesterday. It's one end or the other. It's either you do absolutely nothing, or like it's not gonna work. Cause, like I tried last time, or it's like you think there's gonna be one program that's just gonna change your life. You're gonna do it for 4 weeks, and you're Schwarzenegger. Like that's not the case though.
And then people want to buy programs because they think that it's so complicated that I need this person. I don't want to get too much into like that whole thing, but like people make it more complicated than it needs to be. A lot of, especially with nutrition facts and how far
it's so easy. That's the biggest thing that gets me tight because like I'll talk to my clients and like the first session we always do is like we do a body composition. We get like where they stand, what issues they might have, and get a general idea of where they stand.
Yeah.
And every single one's like, I know nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, you gotta pay attention to what you're putting in yourself.
Yeah.
It affects everything else.
And if you're not, it's very easy to start. But just think a little bit. Like it doesn't take too much time or anything. Just think, oh, what is this? Like, what am I putting in my body?
Yeah.
What should I be putting in my body? And like a lot of people know, like they don't need to know anything about like macronutrients or anything like that to know like
calorie. Calories a calorie. That's like the biggest thing if you're just trying to lose weight and you're like kind of overweight. Or, it's like you haven't done anything at this point and you're just trying to like base level, just trying to lose some weight and get generally healthy. It's just like knowing how much calories you're putting in. So calories in, calories out. It's the simplest method.
It's very simple, and also a lot of people know about things that are bad. Like soda's bad. You drink a lot of soda. All right, start trying to drink diet soda.
Yeah.
Once you get off that, try being off soda. Yeah. Everybody knows drinking a lot of water is good for you.
Again, going back to like the one end or the other. It's like that people don't like progression.
Yeah.
They don't do progressions and thing. It's like, oh, like I need to quit soda and I just need to kick it out like to the curb right now. And that's like not gonna work. That's just like having an addiction and just like, oh, it's over.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for anything.
No.
Like that's why this is a problem I had for such a long time. Where like with marijuana, right? with marijuana, like it's something where you think it's very easy to get off of it if you just like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna stop, but it won't. Mm-hmm. You have to slowly wean yourself off, and that's with anything. Yeah. That's with cigarettes. Yeah. That's with any bad habit. It doesn't matter what it is.
Any form of a habit.
Yeah.
Habit is something that it builds on itself. Like it's programmed into you at a point. So you have to build good habits, and that has to overtake the bad habits, and you get adjusted to.
Habits are a double-edged sword, and this is something Alex taught me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the good thing about a habit and the bad thing about a habit is how hard it is to build. Mm-hmm. Because the good thing about a habit is that once you build a habit, it's very hard to get out of a habit.
Yeah.
So once you're in it, it's like I'm good. Like it's going to be very hard. A lot of bad days in a row for me to be like, all right, I'm giving up on something I've been doing. Yeah. But the thing about a bad habit is so hard to break.
Yep.
So
the same thing for a good habit. If you build a good habit, it's really difficult to build, but it's going to be difficult to break down.
Yep.
Because you're already getting accustomed to it. Like for me, like we were talking about this earlier with organization.
Yeah.
Like once I started being organized, once I changed like the entire way I kind of programmed how I like schedule my life. Yeah. Like everything is like meticulous. Like it's kept that way.
Yeah.
Like I'll know the difference. Like earlier today, like you came in my room like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Yeah.
Because I came back like kind of a little drunk last night, and it was literally just shit was everywhere. And I looked at it, and I was like, this can't be. Like I gotta fix this.
Yeah.
And I gotta fix it. Like I just had to do it, and I couldn't not fix it.
For the record, his room is fixed. So it did happen.
There's some socks lying around, but that's about it.
Well, yeah. But back with lifting, I think people need to understand that it's a long-term thing. It's small progressions, and then being like not congratulating yourself, but like being like, yeah, like I did this, even if it's a small thing, because you keep building blocks, and all of a sudden, this is something Will Smith said. You don't try to make you don't go out if you want to make a wall. Your goal should not to be to make a wall. It should be to lay this first brick as perfectly as I can, so that like there's nothing wrong with this brick. This brick is perfectly laid, and then the next day,
this is a good brick.
and then yeah, it's a good brick, and then the next day you build another brick perfectly, and eventually you'll have a perfect wall. Like you have to, every day it's gotta be like, oh, like today I killed it. I went to the gym, I did all my work, I ate well, I cooked instead of going out, like stuff like that. Like you have to be once you get into that, then it becomes addicting. That's what anything.
Yeah, I think the best saying we have in terms of like lifting is trusting in the process.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone else says that saying, but I think that's one of the most accurate. Like just trust in it and just like believe in it, because unlike usual analogy, we use the test analogy versus lifting analogy, and I actually use with all of my clients after we said it is I'll explain to them. You study for a test and you can put in as much time as you want and you can really put in the effort, but then you take that test and it's a variable. You don't know what's going to happen, and all you can do is try your best. And then you get your grade back and it is what it is. But with lifting, it's if you put in the work, you get what you put in out. You're gonna get that result because of the work you put in. It's a direct effect.
It's not up in the air.
Yeah.
You could take a really hard class, take a test, and like I tried, but it just didn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
And then with lifting, like you put in the work, it's there. There's no questions.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen for you, and that's why it gets addicting, because you start getting progress, and you have to stick it out till you get the progress. When you start seeing a small progress, you're like, shit, like I did this work, and this is what happened, and that's the way it always will be. It's linear. It's completely linear. So not linear, but like, it's correlated completely. Like,
I think for the beginning stages, it will be linear.
Yeah, it will.
100%. Once it gets like you're into advanced stages of the thing, that's when it's like it starts getting exponentially. Yeah. Like every little bit of muscle you add is just
harder.
Yeah.
Definitely. But for most people that aren't trying to get, most people also aren't trying to be bodybuilders.
Yeah, that's another thing that I don't get. Like all these people that I work with, they're like, oh, like I need all of this stuff to like get. It's like you're not competing. You're just trying to be like generally fit, which doesn't take a lot. Like being generally fit is like just generally being accountable for what you do. Yeah. Like it's very, very like average. Like it's nothing crazy.
You don't need to add so much time to your day to do.
Yeah.
Just a 45-minute workout every once in a while.
And that's all you need.
Trying to be a little more active, not even like something serious. Just be more active and watching what you will get there. There's no question about it. You will get there, and you're gonna feel better because obviously your body's gonna feel better, your self-esteem's gonna be better, everything. So that's a huge thing with people. Yeah, people getting scared.
Hashtag health out here.
Yeah, honestly. This is what we talk about 24/7.
24/7. Lifting's a life.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle.
It is, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It also builds good habits.
100%.
Like, on top of like the fact that you're also getting good like benefits, like health wise, physically speaking.
Yep.
It builds just like good psychological habits of consistency, like trusting in the process, like staying to a program, like just doing it day in day out, and being like this will work out.
Yeah, 100%, and. Because the things you need to succeed in lifting are things you need in life. You need discipline. Discipline is the number one thing.
Yep.
Like some days you're gonna wanna like
not do it.
Not
want to do it.
But you gotta just do it. Like that's just what it is.
That's why Nike's slogan is so good. As simple as it is, it's the like most just like universal slogan of like living. It's like just do it. Like just fucking get to it, and that's all you can. And that's it.
Dude.
Simple, clean, effective.
Nike runs. Even though Adidas runs running shoes, like Nike,
no one
can touch Nike.
Yeah.
Nike.
They're a pedestal of just like what is like shoes.
They're terrific. Nike is just outrageous. But yeah, just do it like 100%. You gotta just put your head down, have tunnel vision, just be like, this is what I need to do. And it's not a lot. It's not like your life is gonna change that much. It's gonna change because you're gonna get better. Mm-hmm. But it's not like I really have to dedicate that much time. Just a little bit here and there, make a little smarter decisions, and you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Slogans change so much about like.
Yep. So do like symbols. So do
logo design. Yeah, logo design changes the entire like just direction that your company is gonna go. Like Guzman, I'm like 90% certain the reason why Alpha Elite, on top of how many things he had, why it blew up was how clean the Alpha Elite logo is. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like nice. Like you look at it, you're like, damn, like that's workmanship right there.
100%. And the thing about logos is that it goes back to the thing that you have to connect with people emotionally. That's and with the vibe, and that's all about vibes. Everything is about vibes. So
vibes.
Yeah, honestly, everything is about vibes.
I heard that song. It's a vibe. This song. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I only got put on the 2 Chainz after his last album. Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. The album's really good. Y'all haven't heard it? It's really good.
Girls Like Trap Music.
It's really good. But
2 Chainz is so intellectually dumb.
He's on purpose.
He knows how to play the game.
Yeah, he knows. He's killing it. He's gonna be a legend. He's gonna be a legend. But
It looks like
he's
bigger than
he's 6'5". But what was I saying?
Talking about lifting.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah, we're talking about trust in the process.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went over trust and stuff.
Nah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, yeah, 2 Chainz is.
2 Chainz is.
Oh yeah, the vibes thing. Yeah, you gotta connect with people on the vibes. No matter what art form you're doing, no matter what the way you talk to people, if you can connect with people like how they feel, like oh damn, this person, you just get a vibe from people. Everybody knows what you're talking about. You see somebody.
We were talking about this last night too.
We
When
were,
girls and guys have like
yeah.
good, like bad, like I want to say bad vibes because like I would say a girl isn't bad, like she's a baddie. But like I mean good vibes for a girl that's a baddie.
Vibes is irrespective of looks.
Yeah.
Vibes is just like it's just the way you are.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really fix your vibe that easy.
Yeah.
Like, you just like your persona and the way you are, and also like the way you
like Beyonce and Rihanna have 2 completely different vibes.
Yeah.
But it's like damn, like they got vibes. Like they have a certain like thing to
it's
them.
that it factor.
It's their aura. Like it's what they are.
Exactly. And I think that if you can do that, that's what logos do. That's what music does. Everything. Any type of symbol where you have to translate like pictures or something into like how it's all about the vibe. And yeah, his logo, Christian Guzman's logo,
it's fresh.
It's clean.
Fresh. It's so Beyonce and Rihanna. Like Rihanna's no, I'm not gonna say this word like a dish, but she is a bad bitch. Like that is what she calls herself. You can't call me out on saying that. Like she literally says that. But like she is, and then Beyonce's like the queen. Like you know what I mean?
The thing that's crazy about
she
Beyonce,
affects so many little black girls.
Dude,
like
that's what's crazy about it. Beyonce, every little black girl wants to be Beyonce for good reason. Yeah. She's the pinnacle. Like when people like she is like what she's a role model. That's what it is. She's a role model for so many people, and like what you can accomplish. Like she's
like I personally don't know any, or I can't think of any off the top of my head like scandals or any bad press with Beyonce.
Yeah, I mean other than stuff with like Jay-Z, like
the whole Lemonade thing.
Yeah, that's not even like major at all.
Yeah.
And like you married to Jay-Z and you're arguably more influential than Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Like come on now. Jay-Z is
Jay-Z.
Yeah, there's nothing to be said about it. But Rihanna is like also Rihanna's younger. We grew up with Rihanna, whereas Beyonce was a little older. Rihanna was crazy.
So young when
when Unfaithful came out.
When I remember when I first actually read about the Chris Brown Rihanna incident.
Yeah.
Like you realize how young they were teenagers at that time. I think I want to say Rihanna was like, and Chris Brown was like.
Yeah, Chris Brown has been famous since 14 or 16 years. When Run It came out.
Yeah.
When Run It came out, that's when he was popping. Like he was young as fuck in that.
Dude, he's been killing it for so long. And the thing is, like after that happened, he literally just changed. He changed his entire like persona, personality, look, appearance.
Yeah.
And then he rebranded himself.
He came out as a new person.
Yeah.
And
he killed it again. He killed it again.
That's what talent will give you. Who else is talented enough to get past like what he did was fucked up. Like there's no like question about it. You can't put your hands on him.
No, yeah, that's.
And like what he did was fucked up. And like there's no like it wasn't up in the air. Did he do it? Did he not do it? Like everybody knows what happened.
Yeah.
He fucked up. He did something really bad, and people still love him. Like
he probably still gets hate mail.
He does.
He probably gets death threats still.
He definitely does. But like so many people still like he didn't lose all everybody.
No, he didn't lose.
He didn't even lose like a quarter of everybody.
He was 16 at the time.
Yeah. Like he has so many followers. He's a hook man right now for everybody. You put Chris Brown on the beat, you know what you're getting. Top 40. You're getting a top 40 hit.
And he killed. His dancing is outrageous.
He's on another level when it comes to talent. When it comes to talent, regardless of if he's a good person or a bad person, talent wise.
Would you say he transcends time in terms of like what he's done? Because we're talking about like Michael Jackson way in the beginning.
I think he will. Yeah. I think because he's been doing it for long.
That's what I'm saying. But like, the thing is, I feel like people don't combine the 2 personalities together. I feel like they're like separate careers.
They are. He can't go back to being running.
Because like after post 2009, it was like that. Just like who are you? Like,
he lost the good boy.
He lost everything. Like that part of him like was kind of like chewed up and thrown out. Yep. And now it's like he had to reinvent himself, and that's what he's known as now. He's not known as the thing before. Like it's like this was remember back then, and it's like he's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think it depends on how you look at it. Is like his entire career.
Yeah.
Career wise, like he's made a huge. And I don't know if he's Michael Jackson.
No, obviously not. But like I'm saying, like the idea of like being someone.
I think
you look back at.
I think he 100% does. People who are multifaceted, he's been in movies. He was in Stomp the Yard. It's with Megan Good. Columbus Short. It's about I think it's about Howard University and like a black step team. Like they do stepping. They're like a fraternity. Stepping is
just like a type of dancing.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like yeah. So they had a step team, and that's what it's about. He's in that for a little bit. I think he's in other stuff. He might have been like cameos.
You know who has some of the funniest cameos? It's just random. Justin Timberlake.
What are stuff?
Like he's just in. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know, but he's. Huh? Yeah, like movies.
As
like
a cameo or like
as like No, some of them he's actually like the main roles, and then some of them he's cameos. But he's usually just when he is a cameo, he's just that guy that the girl gets.
Yeah.
He's like the cool guy. Like there's never a role where he's not the cool guy.
Yeah, he's so cool. But he is so cool. He's just
No, but back in the day, did you see what he used to wear back in the day? He wore when he did Rock Your Body, like it was like getting big. It was a baggy clothes phase.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He was part of NSYNC, so he was a part of that.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
whole boy band move. See, no, like kids nowadays don't know. They don't know nothing about boy band.
They don't know nothing. It's not cool to sing in a group of 5 guys in high falsetto anymore.
Yeah, it's not. Like, what happened to that?
If you start doing this, like,
yeah,
stop it, guy.
And like One Direction's the only one I can think, and they split up.
In recent years, yeah.
But they still didn't have a very demographic. Like I don't think any of us listen. I can't name. I can't name too many songs about One Direction. So like.
The only one that was different was Zayn, and now he's gone.
Yeah,
he actually made it. He's killing it. He's killing it on his own. He's killing it on his own.
100%.
Pillow Talk killed it. He got so many views and so many downloads from him.
Everyone platinum. He's crazy. He's great.
Yeah, he's really.
But yeah, then.
But it's not cool. Like it's not like a common thing that happens.
Groups in general, I feel there's not so many groups, like big groups out there.
I feel like everyone's doing their own thing now. It's all like
it's about the money. That's why.
And one, it's about the money. Two, I think because of the fact that like, the internet lets them put themselves out. So
true.
Like they don't need like a bunch of people kind of connecting together and getting all of their connections working together. Type of thing. It's just like I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Maybe
that could be it. I mean,
with SoundCloud.
Yeah.
SoundCloud made people.
Yeah.
Like
Chance. Chance is made on SoundCloud.
Russ was made on SoundCloud.
Russ was made on SoundCloud.
So like everybody's been huge for up and coming people.
Yeah.
Like Lil Uzi got huge on SoundCloud.
Yeah. And that's the biggest. That's the biggest thing. I mean, like that just goes into what I'm doing again.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like this. Like I can put it out on my own. I don't need to put in the effort of like going through someone else. Or, like for same thing for YouTube. It's like I can do it on my own. Like same thing with artists. Like why wouldn't they want to do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like their work. Like they want to put in their work and get a 1-to-1 ratio of like trusting the process that they're gonna be doing. You know, and then getting to where they want.
You gotta believe you're the shit.
You do. That's I think that's the secret to life. It is a secret. I think that's the secret to life. It's like as dumb as it may sound, it's like if you just pretend like I'm gonna kill it. Like I fucking got this. Like I'm the man, or like it sounds cocky, but like if you put yourself in that mindset of like I'm gonna do it, you do it. Like you're just like all right, like I'm gonna do it.
100. Like confidence is just like confidence is everything. You have to believe like you are better. Not I don't want to say make it seem bad, but if everybody thinks that, I feel like it's not that bad. But like you have to believe that like you are better than everyone. Like I can do this. Like look, there's an exception. Like oh, you can't do this because only like 1% of people make it. I am that 1%.
Yeah.
If you've been putting a lot of time into some craft, and you're like questioning, can I make it? Can I not make it? You need to think like you are the shit because only the people who think that are the ones that you have to. And that's something that everybody's got. Because you start doubting everything. Yeah. It's like oh, this hasn't happened for me yet. Why? I'm the problem.
What I do?
Yeah. Am I trying hard? Because
it's guacamole. Always guacamole. 100% always guacamole.
But it's just like there's two options. Either you're not working hard enough or you're not good enough. And the second one, you're not good enough, is scary. If you come to the conclusion I'm not good enough, then like you're in like a what do I do now? Yeah. But most of the time it's just I'm not working hard enough. But you have to like keep working and believe that you are good enough.
That's a big reason. Like the new season of BoJack Horseman came out, and all of us have been talking about it. Like that's a big reason why I like that show. They very accurately depict what it's like to be in a position of doubt, of like not knowing or like not satisfied or like just being like in your mind all the time. It's like really difficult to explain to someone like being in your mind if they're not the type of person.
You always tell me that.
It is. It's like you. I mean, like even for you, you're someone who's in your mind, right? And then like we talked to James, he's like I'm never in my mind. Like,
oh, James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with I talked to Keyshawn. He's like I just do it. Think about it. But it's like to explain to someone that isn't in that state of mind, it's really difficult to like kind of show them or like explain like which
why you're anxious.
Yeah, but the show like depicts that really well, and like it shows people like what it could be like dark, but it's like that's a big reason why I think that show's so good. Yeah,
you guys have been hyping it up, and I'm gonna try watching it.
Season 4 is amazing. I'm only on episode 6, but it's been amazing.
I'm not gonna expect it to be a comedy. I'm just gonna watch it for like.
Yeah, it has comedic tones to it in parts, but the majority of it's pretty dark. It hits on like social matters and then also like political affairs, and at the same time like real world issues, but through cartoons that are trippy as fuck.
That show a lot of people like. Honestly, cartoon like representations of real life, like those type of are really deep. The Boondocks was like that was a huge cultural thing. Talking about like things that are going on in life. Like South Park is another one.
South Park
and a lot of people get like a lot of insight into like pop culture. Through those things.
Yeah. So. I'm pretty sure South Park's or the Scientology Scientology episode were like accurate depiction, and it's just like Wow, like, cool.
And I get it through cartoons.
Through entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's why South Park's been around, because of the fact that it's not just a show. It's more than a show. And that's why I think BoJack Horseman is a good show. It's more than just a show. Like, it transcends, like, being just a show for being a show. Like, it talks about things.
You get something out of it.
Yeah. And I think, like, people later on probably won't be able to, like, appreciate it for what it is much. Yeah. Because of the fact that the show right now, I think, discusses things that are going on right now. Like, it's not, like, if you're in the future, like, you're not going to get why it's as big a deal. Yeah. So I think that's why that's show, and it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Plug for BoJack Horseman. Sponsor.
Yeah, free plug.
So that was actually the entirety of the podcast, but unfortunately, the first time I recorded my conversation with Pooh Bear, I completely forgot to mention the last section of this podcast, and I actually didn't do this on the first episode either, just because what I've been doing for these 2 episodes, it's kind of been freelance, and I'm just kind of been testing the waters to see how the conversations would go. What I want to do at the end of these podcasts is what really distinguishes mine from all the others that are out there right now. What I'm going to be doing from this episode on, and I promise you the transitions for the other episodes probably won't be as weird, because I'll actually remind myself and make sure I remember to do this section before cutting the podcast off, because this episode, I actually did the recording the other day, finished it, uploaded it, then realized I completely forgot to add that part in. Luckily, Pooh Bear isn't someone that was difficult to get a hold of and actually record the last section of the podcast, so I'm doing that the next day and finishing that part up so I can edit, upload, and put this up for you guys. So this last section of the podcast is going to be just a conversation with the person, kind of talking about their major, what year they are, and just what their future endeavors are. The main focus is just going to be kind of, their unmapped path. And yes, I said it. That is, that's why this show is called Unmapped, and I've probably said it multiple times, but this is the section that will be distinguishing me and my podcast from all of the other podcasts. It's unmapped. These guys don't know what's up. And so what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to be playing the recording of me talking to Pooh Bear about what he does and what he expects out of the future. So let's wrap this up. Okay, I swear to God, this is the last part of the podcast. It's going to be like 10 minutes. I just want to wrap it up. I know it's been an hour. I know the transitions have been weird, and it's like 10 p.m. right now. I have work 6 a.m. tomorrow, and I pulled Pooh Bear out of his room. I stopped him from doing his homework and made sure he can record the next 10 minutes just so we can talk about his career path, what he's doing, and all that stuff, so I can get this section of the podcast in. I know, selfish, right? Fuck me. But yeah, I just want to get that conversation in, and you guys can dip after that. So what I want to talk about is the fact that me and him are actually both math majors, but me and him expect a lot of different things from our futures. Me personally, I don't like math. I just spent the last 5 minutes trying to do my Calc 4 homework, and it was yeah. But his background is pretty different, and he wants to do sports analytics, which is really interesting given the fact that it's not something, I don't think it's something you think of this early on. It's kind of specific, but again, it's something that fits him really well. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So a little background on that. So when I applied to colleges, you have to pick your major. So a lot of people don't know what they want to do. That's fine. But for me, the reason I knew kind of where I wanted to go was because of a couple projects I did in high school. Actually, my uncle put me on to something called operations research, which is pretty much mathematical modeling of real-life systems. An example is a project I did in high school where my mom works at a health clinic in what she used to work at this health clinic, which was in Jamaica, Queens. So she worked there, and they were having a problem with patient flow, long waiting times. So patients would come, and they'd wait a really long time, and they wanted to know why, right? That's a important thing to know. Where's the bottleneck? Bottleneck is what's causing the holdup. So that was right after when Affordable Care Act by Obamacare was just rolling out. They're having the rollout for that. So a lot of places were switching to electronic medical records, which is huge. Now it's mandated that you have your patient data on electronic medical record. So with that, and a lot of other industries in life right now, you get so much data just that you don't even know what to do with it. That's why the data analytics, big data movement is as booming as it is right now. If y'all are looking for jobs, having a good foundation in data analytics, how to mine data, a little bit of coding, not too much, and then machine learning can get you a long way, which is pretty much where I want to go. But anyways, yeah, so I used this new pool of data that was just coming in there that they had just implemented, which is mainly what my mom does for them. And using that, we try to give suggestions on why actually the patient flow was bad and where it can be improved. And I wrote a paper on this that actually got published, and I presented it at a conference. But and if anybody wants to know about it, it's an abstract online if you just type in my name. But
I mean, given the fact that it's going to be anonymous,
never mind.
We can't put your name on this.
I don't want to really go too far into it, but that's the type of thing that got me into this. I also did a project in high school, looking at my high school's bus routing system, and trying to figure out why it wasn't performing as well as advertised. So those are things that I did in high school that used something called operation research, some data analytics, to solve real life problems. So that's what got me into this. Fast forward to when I was applying to colleges. Stony Brook is actually the only college that I applied under applied math. Everything else was in industrial engineering, which is where operations research is. At Stony Brook, it's under applied math and statistics. So yeah, that's why I did that. And then also earlier, in between high school and college, I saw the movie Moneyball. I'm a huge sports fan. I know I follow pretty much every major sport.
He basically has a monopoly on sports knowledge in this room.
Yeah, I just sports has been a big part of my life for a long time. So I saw the movie Moneyball, read the story. If you guys haven't seen this with Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, it's a fantastic movie. Even if you don't like sports, it's really informative and really funny. It's just a really good movie. And it's about how the Oakland A's, real story, about how Oakland A's were one of the first people to stray away from conventional baseball scouting, just like what's a five-tool player. Five-tool player is being able to hit for contact, hit with power, being a good fielder, running the bases, and something else. But that's what a five-tool player is. Like Alex Rodriguez is good at everything. That's an example. But that was just like an eye test. It's just, you have to know the game to know, right? But that started straying away from how much data you have on statistics, on player statistics, on team statistics, what makes a good team, what makes a good player, what does my team need, right? So they hired this guy from Jonah Hill's character. He was a guy for the Indians, but he pretty much has a degree from, I think it was Yale, in economics. And he did a lot of mathematical modeling to determine, to help the GM. GM is the general manager, the person that makes any personnel decisions for any team in any sport. So he helped the GM decide on what players to pick, not based on conventional baseball know-how.
But on statistics.
It's a combination.
Okay.
That's the key. You have to be a domain expert. Domain expert means you know the industry as well as the statistics. The statistics can guide you, but you also need to know the game. Like, you can't avoid knowing the game.
Right. So the big question here would be, when did it click for you that you wanted to do analytics in sports? Was it like off the back, or was that just like... It was just
after that, seeing this movie, hearing the story, and seeing more things, more other... an example is... and another example, I'm just going to give another example because I feel like that helps show how prevalent it is. And the NBA, Dallas Mavericks, any of you guys follow the NBA, Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets are two of the biggest people that use analytics in personnel decisions as well as the way you scheme. For example, the long two is a 2-point shot that's not a three, right? But it's not in the paint. That has become almost non-existent in basketball nowadays. You're either shooting threes. You see how everybody's shooting threes now. Steph Curry is not helping that, but everybody's shooting threes now, right? Everybody's either they're three. Like, look at the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets, if they don't hit threes, they're losing the game. Like, they're not. They can't. There's no big men anymore.
I saw a clip of Draymond Green practicing, and all he was doing was shooting threes.
Yeah, Draymond Green's a player that is not a 3-point shooter, but he has to expand his game.
Yeah.
Even bigs now. Look at DeMarcus Cousins shooting threes. Karl-Anthony Towns shooting threes. I saw a video of JaVale McGee. If you guys know JaVale McGee, it's hysterical. He's shooting threes now. Like, everybody's shooting threes, and that's because analytics has proven that even convention would tell you, like intuition would tell you, that the long two is the least efficient shot in the game because it's almost a three, but it's not, and it's not close to the basket. It's a lower percentage shot. So people are either in the paint dunking or threes. There's no mid-range game. Like there's no Allen Iverson anymore. DeMar DeRozan might be the closest to having a mid-range game, but everybody and John Wall, but everybody else and Kimball Walker, my fault.
Oh my god, we can't get into the sports right now. We're trying to keep it to the.
But
the
people don't have like mid-range games anymore. So that's an example. Another example of how people are deviating using statistics. That's a very cheap example, but it does influence scheme. So how did I?
How early on did you make that connection between the two of analytics and sports?
I think it slowly started growing, and then the conference I went to last year,
the MIT Sports Analytics Conference.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, the MIT Sports Analytics Conference is something they hold every year. It's in like March or April, and has huge names from the sports industry. There's people like Adam Schefter, Ken Rosenthal. And all the people that do the major reporters, like anybody who breaks the news on ESPN, this guy signed for this much from this team. All those reporters were there. Mark Cuban was there.
You did talk about that.
The commissioner of the NBA was there. All the Cavs.
Who's that guy that does he specifically does analytits? What was his name?
Oh, Nate Silver. Nate Silver was there. If you guys don't know, Nate Silver was big in baseball, and he's been on the political scene with analytics. He got huge from the Obama election against McCain, I think it was, when he predicted every state within a certain range of votes. So, like, he blew up from that. So, Nate Silver was there. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the league, was there. GMs from the Warriors, the Cavs, Toronto, like, brand name, like, head honcho people were at this place, right? And it's all about analytics. It's not, like, it's about the sport, but also about analytics. There's a bunch of projects people present. A lot of PhD students present. Like, a lot of people are there presenting the work that they do in this field. And I went last year.
But really, like, push you over the border of, like, I want to commit to this. I want to do this.
It was because I didn't realize how every aspect of what you can think of with the idea of entertainment in sports is they use analytics. A great example. I'll give you a quick, really quick story. So if you guys follow baseball, I went to this one of the. It's pretty much split into like seminars, right? So one of the seminars was about concession stands, right, and how they optimize pricing for concession stands at Dodger Stadium. And what they noticed was, convention would tell you that if you're watching the home team, right? Let's say I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm at Dodger Stadium, right? You want to see your team bat versus field. Okay? You'd rather watch your team bat versus when they're in the field. Another thing is beer and hot dogs are the two highest bought commodities in baseball. A lot of us know that just from being at the ballpark, right?
Yeah.
So one thing they noticed was that on every fifth day, concession stands at Dodger Stadium, the beer and hot dog was much lower than average. Okay? Why is that? There's a lot of reasons why that could be, right?
On Friday?
On every fifth day. Every fifth day.
Okay.
And if you guys know anything about baseball, you might be able to piece it together why. But the data showed that it's because those were days that Clayton Kershaw was pitching. If you guys don't know, Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers was at the time the best pitcher in the Major League Baseball.
So people will be sitting
down. So people want to watch him pitch versus when them bat. So less people are going to concession stands when their team is in the field because normally if you want to get food during the game, you go when your team is in the field, not at bat. But with him, they were all staying in their seats when he was at bat. So on days he pitched, they completely changed the staffing as well as the prices on commodities based on this fact.
That's interesting.
So like you don't think that concession stands really use that, but they completely changed the number of people that they staff at these games based off this. And that's when I realized, oh shit, like every part of this is based on analytics. And you can do a lot of cool shit. And personally, I love the game, so I want to be in like the Jonah Hill general manager making personnel decisions, like winning rings type thing. But I mean, that's still pretty cool. I didn't realize how far you can go.
So this is the last question. As a senior, what path would be the most ideal for you to end up in? So like you said, like the general manager type of deal with Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Would you rather be heavy analytics where it's just working with data or working with players and also doing analytics?
I mean, ideally it's going to be both. But, I mean, you got to get your foot in the door. Entry-level positions, you're not going to be able to have too much influence on personnel, like, when you come out the bat. So, for me, my ideal dream job, my ideal first job, like, the first job I get into the industry, is going to be with doing, like, only analytics for, like, a baseball team. Like, I've been trying to apply with the Yankees. I applied last year. I'm going to apply again this year. There's a company also I applied to that did analytics in college baseball.
There's another one for hockey, right?
Yeah, there's one for hockey. I had a couple interviews with a couple different teams, and things like that. So that's what I want to do. I think that's where I get my foot in the door, and then eventually, you start doing real shit for people.
Right.
and then
So,
they notice that you have value.
Combination of a lot of factors put you where you are today.
Yeah, I mean, you also gotta think about it. Don't think about it. You need to get your foot in the door. That's the way it works. Don't think that where you start is where you're gonna end. That's what my dad always says, at least. So.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's true. Yeah. Your resume is always going to be there. It's not a one-time thing. It's not after college that you're done. 100%. It's always building on it. So
people go back to school real late, and then there's like people are climbing. The age people to climb can go on for a while.
Yeah.
If you keep working, so
yeah, a lot of information there. So your ideal situation would be entry level in heavy data analytics, followed by being in a somewhat GM position where you work more with personnel. Yeah, working an assistant GM, actually have an influence on who we pick up, who we don't want, trades, things like that. Yeah. Helping make a roster to win. And honestly, I love most sports, but just the competitiveness, I'll work in any sport. It doesn't matter. I don't follow hockey, but I'll work in hockey if I could do something like that. Just working in sports. That's
dude. Winning a ring, helping to win a team win a ring, that's the goal, man.
I mean, you feel like you did something.
Yeah, you're making an impact. Like, I will be a hardcore supporter of that team no matter who it is, just to win. But yeah. All
right, so I think that sums up his story, his start and where he is right now, where he wants to end up. And it's been an hour and like 12 minutes for this episode, longer than the ones coming up are going to be, just because I didn't really plan for this one, and I still have a lot of work to do on how I want this to kind of play out. Again, I'm learning as I go. Bear with me. So here comes that little transition music, and that's the end of episode 2. Peace out, guys.